Hello and welcome to this video here on YouTube. Today's video is going to be about an app. It's a singing app, karaoke app, that is called Starmaker. And you can download this app, if you like, in the Google Play Store on your Android phone, and I believe on the iPhone, but don't quote me. I use an Android phone. You can also supposedly use this app on a tablet if you have a tablet, which is similar to a computer, but it's handheld. And anyways, you can use it on a tablet. Now, you can't use this on a computer. I do not know why they have not given the ability to have an app for the CPU. However, it's a great app on the go or at home or whatever. I suggest if you are going to use this app that you use a pair of wired headphones, because if you use Bluetooth, there is some sort of a delay or a lag that happens. So use wired headphones when you're doing it, and a good pair of wired headphones. Bluetooth will not really be good enough. Although you can try it, but you're going to have to adjust what's called the latency, and that's difficult to understand if you don't know anything about that. There's little functions within the app that allows you to adjust the sound and everything else. So anyways, this video is going to be about a review of Starmaker. I'm going to tell you the good and the bad of Starmaker, and I'm going to tell you it in my own way, because I've been using this app for over 2 years now. Now, if you're singing to sing for fun and whatever, this is or singing to record songs that you love and you want to actually even put on a CD or a DVD or something, or if you want to keep them digitally on your computer, this is a great app to do that. And if you're a really good singer, this is a way to home and practice your skills of singing without having to go to a bar and sing karaoke all the time. If you don't have equipment, because all this equipment, music equipment and stuff, is really expensive. A lot of people don't have the money to do it. So this is the way to cheap out but still sound good, because the songs that Starmaker uses is basically the exact copy or the exact versions that some of the professional singers use. I don't know how they get the license for that or whatever, but they do. Now, with that said, this app is a free app. You do not have to pay for anything if you do not want to. However, they will restrict you from having many what's called followers or subscribers, okay? And we're going to get into that in a minute or two here, but it will restrict you. So if you're like level 1 to 3, you only get like up to 1,000. You can only get up to 1,000 followers or subscribers. If you get up to level 5, I think it's like 6,000, and so on and so on. So what I wanted to tell you is there are bots, there are robots, fake bots that come into your songs, and they'll tell you how oh wow, you did great on that song, blah blah blah, but it's all fake. I mean, not all fake. There's real people that come to listen to your songs. But why would a company have to use robots, AI, artificial intelligent bots? Why? Because they're not that popular, or there's not many people. There may be 1 million people on the app, or 500,000 or whatever, but I even doubt that. I'm guessing there's only probably maybe 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. That's just a guess. But why would they have to use the bots? Well, the bots come in to tell you how wonderful you are when you sing, regardless whether you are a good singer or not. So what does that do? That builds a false ego for someone, thinking that they're better than they really are, and everything else, okay? So that's a whole nother ball of wax. It's the same thing as if you go to a karaoke bar and someone claps for you after you sang a song, and you may have sucked at that song, but they tell you, oh, that was great, right? And you're not great. There's a lot of bad singers on this app. There's a lot of good ones. or some good ones. I wouldn't say a lot of good ones. There's some good ones. And there's some exceptional singers, but very few. Okay, now, with that said, the recordings are excellent. You very rarely come into a problem where you can't find a song. I've gone to many karaoke bars before, try to get a song that I want to sing, and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have that." So you bump into that problem. On Starmaker, you bump into it less. There's a lot of songs available. And if there isn't a song, you can send a request for them to create it or put it on there at a future time. And usually it appears down the road. You might have to put in for it, and then a month later it's on the app. Because they're busy. They behind the scenes there's a lot of people working to put songs on there. Now, the system is designed to buy coins. It's a coin-based system. So, for instance, as an example, you can get about, like, say, 1,500 coins for about $19.99. So $20, $20 US, right? You can pay through PayPal or use your MasterCard and Visa or whatever, debit card to do it. You might say, well, what are you using the coins for? Well, the coins, they have a lot of gambling programs on there, all different kinds that use these coins. But here's the problem. You can't really win anything in real money with those coins because you can't trade them in to get money back. They do have a system that you get diamonds. Okay, the diamonds can be turned into coins, and then you can convert it to money and send it, have it sent to you. But you literally would have to have millions and millions and billions of coins just to make a few $100 or $500 or something like that. So if you think you're going to come on the app to try to just win coins and make money, it's not going to happen. There's not that many people on this app to listen to your songs. It isn't, even though this is a worldwide app and anyone can download this from anywhere in the world, doesn't mean there's millions of people on here. This is why they use this bot system. Okay, so I'm already getting into the negative stuff, but I just wanted to tell you a few positives. The positives is you can sound very good on this app if you know how to work the controls and mix in your voice. And that's, according to you, if you have a good voice. If you have a crappy voice and you don't sound good, it doesn't matter how good the sound of the music is, you're going to come through as terrible. So if you're not a good singer and you're not a good singer, I would suggest not really using the app. I hate to tell you that, but no one likes to listen to a bad singer, On the other hand, if you're doing it for fun or laughs or giggles, I guess, yeah, go ahead. So they have a huge library of songs. The whole system is free to use if you want to, as far as going live or recording songs to upload so people can listen to them, okay? But you're going to find these bots will come on and say, oh, wow, what a great song you sang, right? So what that does is build a false ego if you do not have a good voice, and you think, oh, these people love me, right? I didn't realize until like a month in that there was like robots, AI robots, artificial intelligent bots that were coming in, and they'll even come into your lives and say, hey, you sound good. And how do you know that they're a bot or not? Well, it's easy to spot because if you go into their profile and they don't have any recorded songs, or they're not part of what's called a family, there's these groups that are called families that you can join, okay? And then within the family system, they have levels of, to show, oh, this family is ranked number 9 this week and blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's a ranking system that goes on within the app, okay? And so, anyways, the robots will constantly tell you how great you are, how bad. Actually, they'll never tell you you're bad. That's the problem. If you're a bad singer, no one's gonna come in and say, "Oh, you suck." I mean, I'm sure it happens, but like it again, it builds a false ego for the people to stay in and continue to sing. Okay, I told you some of the positives and a little bit of the negatives. Now I have to get into the thing about the competitions. Okay, within the app, there's a thing called Supernova. Now, I've only been on the app for 2 years. I think there's only been four supernovas. So they started this supernova competition back, 3 or 4 years ago. And then there's mini competitions within the Starmaker app, which they might have a specific genre of singing they want, and there'll be these competitions. But you don't really win any money with that. The only one you actually could win money with is the Starmaker Supernova competition. I was in the Supernova competition twice. The first time I did it, I only made it into the first round, and then I got bounced out, or second round, and then I got bounced out. This last time, this is 2025. Right, today, as I'm recording this, it's November 1st of 2025. So I was in it, and I got into the 64th round. Now, I'm not going to tell you who I am on there because it's not important. I'm telling you this so you can be aware of the app, and I'm exposing some of the stuff that goes on here because this is insane what goes on as far as Supernova, okay? And I've seen it enough. I've seen it, so that's why I'm doing the video. So they have these competitions where you sing a song. It'll say, okay, 2,000 people, right? That's how I know there's not a lot of people on this app, because why is only 2,000 or whatever joining to sing? Or it's the top 2,000, right? And then it cuts down to the next 300 or 400 or 500, something like that. Or the top 300. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's like the top 300. And then from 300, it goes all the way down into these subdivisions of like 256 down to 64, 64 down to 16, 16 down to 4, down to 8, and then down to 4, the top 4. And then out of the top 4, only 3 winners can be picked. So you have the top prize of, say, $12,000, which is what they've been doing consistently the past 2 years. $12,000 top prize, $4,000 second prize, and $1,000 third prize. And then the fourth person doesn't win anything. Now, here's the problem with this competition. The people who are at the top, like say you're in the top, whatever, 16 or 64, the people start voting for themselves, which means they can pay for their vote. So if you have coins and you have these things called tickets, they're singing tickets, and the tickets can be sent to a song, right? So you can literally buy the tickets and send them to your own song. You could sit there all day long and send yourself gifts to give yourself more votes, right? And other people can vote for you, but there isn't enough people on this app to vote, and not many people care. Like most people don't even join the competition anymore because they know it's rigged and it's fake. There was a girl last year, 2024, that won. Her name is Sassy, and I'm going to show you the connection between Sassy and at least one other person that's in this competition for 2025. At the time that I'm making this, the competition is going on. It's down to the last 8 people. It's in for some reason it went from 16 down to 8. So I guess they do subdivisions within the rounds. There's different rounds that happen. I thought it went from 16 to 4. It does, but it splits to 8, and then from 8 down to 4, and then from 4 down to the top 3. And I may be slightly wrong here, so if I am, correct me in the comments, please. Please go to the comments, because I'm sure there's people that'll have taken, notice of everything, and they know a little bit more than me. Now, I want to just say one thing. I wasn't even going to join this competition recently. I just did it for laughs to see how far I could get, and I got into top 64, but it doesn't mean anything. You don't get any prizes or anything. You only get the prizes unless you're in the top 3. So what's happening is people have figured out how to buy all of these coins and tickets and send the coins and the tickets to themselves in order to get the votes to win. Now, I'm just going to give you an example because it's totally obvious. This girl, Sassy, who won last year, most of these people, and God bless them. I mean, I'm not picking out any one specific group, but they're from the Philippines, okay? Filipino. And so this girl, Sassy, supposedly is rich. She has a lot of money or whatever. So for her to buy $4,000 or $5,000 worth of coins and stuff is nothing. If she's going to win 12,000, right? So say she spends 6,000, right? And she wins the 12. Well, she just won 6,000 and she got back her 6,000. So a lot of them do it to get the prestige and the title of it. But how ridiculous is if people know that that's what you're doing? No one's going to respect this person, and no one does. A lot of people know that it's fake, and that's why they don't even enter this contest anymore. Now, Starmaker, if you're listening to this, if you are people that are involved in making this app, you better know that the people are onto this. We know that it's a fraud. The system is a fraud. And I've looked up on Reddit, Reddit, Reddit posts, and all of these different reviews of people complaining on how bad the system is. The app itself, the singing and having the fun, is a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. This is a great app for a lot of reasons. But on the inside, doing these competitions are not fair. They're fraud. They're a fraud. And the fact that Starmaker allows this to happen, this goes to show you that all they care about is money. And I hope someone from Starmaker is listening to this, because this is crazy. You guys need to change this system. See, Starmaker makes their money on people who buy the coins. Now, let me explain to you about the gambling system, because we're going to get back into the Sassy and these people that are winning these competitions. But within the app, there's several coin gambling systems that people go into to play, and they can become very addictive. I got addicted to it to the point that I was buying, like, every week I was spending $50 in real money and losing these coins within a matter of hours. And then I stopped doing it because I realized this is insane. On the other hand, I made up an excuse in my mind to say, well, at least I had a lot of fun on there, and the songs that I've been singing and recording, I figured it was sort of a payoff in order to do that, because they have to make their money some way, right? There's another app called, I think it's called Shmule, or Smule, which is another app that's a karaoke app, and it's a pay per system. But they don't even nearly have as much songs as Starmaker does. But they make you buy a subscription, and I won't do that. So at least Starmaker gives you the option to be able to sing for free. I'll say one thing: if you're doing it to record songs and keeping the songs on your hard drive so you have them to listen to, or for whatever reason, or if you're auditioning for a band, it's a great tool to have. I would suggest staying away from the competition part and not taking part in Supernova, because Supernova is a fraud. It's just the whole system is a fraud. These people, like I said, these people are buying votes. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I'm going to start with showing you this. Now, this is this girl here you can't really see her face well. Let me zoom in. Okay, this is Chell. Okay, Chell right now in the competition, and it's November. Actually, it's November 2nd right now. I thought it was the first. It's November 2nd, and at the time I'm recording this, Chell is number 4 out of 8 people. Okay, she was number 1 for a little while until it broke down from 64 and whatever. So she's number 4. Why is this important to show you her? This girl right here, this is Sassy. And Sassy won in 2024. She won the competition, right? Now, am I going to say that these girls don't have a good voice or whatever? Yeah, they have a good voice, but they're not exceptional. They're not American Idol material at all. I mean, they're good singers, but I don't even really like the song selection, and I don't really like their voice that much. I mean, technically, yeah, they're okay, but they're not like phenomenal. They're not like Christine Aguilera or something, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now, what is this thing in the middle? This is these little tags that they can put between themselves. This means they're buddies, they're friends, okay? And they know each other. Level 4 buddy, right? I noticed this. I didn't know she was friends with her until this year's competition. I went in and I said, because I'm investigating it, and I'm going, wow, okay, I see the connection here. And you're going to see what I'm telling you about in a minute. So this is her ID number, 1000411935570. Okay, this is Chell. Okay, let's move on to some more things. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. Okay, so let me show you who is in number 1 right now, who's first. This person, her name is Chelsea Zoe. Chelsea Zoe, ID number 100029620942. Okay? So this is what she looks like. Chelsea Zoe. I don't know if you can see her. I'm just zooming in. These are screenshots I took, so I was able, because if I did it live within the app, I wouldn't be able to zoom in. So, anyways, this is Zoe. Chelsea Zoe, right? She has 10,000 followers, 988 she follows. The following means the one she's following. Her rank is 3,000, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me move on. I'm going to make it more relevant in a minute here. Hold on. Okay, so for anyone, I just want to show you this. For anyone who has not seen this, this is like what the picture of the screen within the app looks like. This is Supernova S4. So that means that there's been 4 supernovas since they started doing it. The final 16 is ongoing. Okay, so during the time I took this picture, there was 5 hours left. Okay, you see to the left here on the bottom, the bottom left here, it says 64:16. And then the date, 10/27 to 29. So within those dates, it goes all the way down to 16. Then when it gets to the middle part, from 16 to 4. But there's 8 people within the competition still right now. And then it comes down to the final 4, which is 11/2 to 11/04. And I believe today is the final 4 coming up. Okay. So Chelsea Zoe is the one who is in number 1. Now, let me show you how many votes she has. Hold on. Okay, so here is her song, and here's the votes. She has 140, I'm sorry, is that 14? Yeah, 14,000, no, 148,642. Forgive me, my math is a little off. 148,642. Okay, so now let me tell you what's wrong with that. Remember, this is the girl named Chelsea Zoe, right? Chelsea Zoe, 104, and even if it was 14,000, but it's not. It's 148,642. Okay, so let me show you why that's wrong, or why something's wrong with that. Okay, so this is within Chelsea Zoe. Okay, there's Chelsea Zoe right there, by the way, on the right-hand side. You can see her right here. That's Chelsea Zoe, right? Look at the amount of views that are on her, these where it says 134 and it says I surrender. These are songs, right? That's how many views she has on that song, right? The other one, 569. There's one here for 292, 257, 255, 265, 377, 244, right? Now, these are views that the person has on their songs, okay? Chelsea Zoe. If she was that popular and she was like winning, which she is, look at her family ranking is number 1, by the way, and they can pay to get their rankings up by buying those coins and everything else and having a whole bunch of people vote. Now, I've listened to a couple of her songs. She doesn't suck, but she's not my cup of tea, and I don't really like her voice. Is she technically a good singer? Yeah, she's good. She isn't great. She isn't excellent. She shouldn't even be number 1. The reason she's number 1 is because she's paying for her votes. These people have learned how to do all this. Now, I can't prove this, but I would say that she's probably friends with Chell and she's friends with Sassy and all of these people. What I think is going on here is I think that they are paying for each other's votes, helping each other like achieve the win, and then they're splitting the winnings. They're, like, in other words, if I had like say 4 or 5 other friends in on it, and I said, look, if you guys spend $500 or $1,000, I'll return that money to you if I win the competition. So basically, all I have to say is, if I win the 12,000, I'll give you guys, I'll give you a return in investment. I'll give you double your money. So if you spend 500, I'll give you $1,000 out of it, and it's easy to do. And you just split the winnings, okay? And let me just show you some other things here. Okay, now this person who is in number 2 has 129,377 votes, right? This is Tall Chai Latte, right? And let me see if I could show you a picture of this person. Well, this is, I guess she was probably dressed up for Halloween or something. This is Tall Chai Latte, ID number 10085560626, okay? She has only 3,000 followers. And then if you went through her and you looked at her songs, it would say pretty much the same, only a few hundred views. How are people getting views and likes that are very little, but when they get into the competition, they have over 100,000 votes? That's impossible, folks. There's manipulation going on there. And it could be internally, too. Who knows? Maybe someone in Starmaker is helping them. I don't know. All right, let's show you some more things here. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to show you this. When I made it out of the 64th round, this is for me, okay? And I'm not going to show you who I am or whatever, but it said, congratulations, you ranked number 55 and successfully advanced to the 64th and 16th stage. You can change your competition entry before the next round changes, and then you can add in like other things like YouTube and TikTok. It says, share your cover and fill in the link to get up to 50% bonus votes. For some reason, they supposedly give you some votes, but who wants to win it like that? See, I'm a man of integrity and honor. If I am good enough to win, I want to know that I won on my merit, not on because someone is buying me votes or whatever, okay? And I don't pay for my own votes, folks. All right, let me show you some other things here. Oh, by the way, so when I was eliminated from the competition, who do you think I was eliminated by? Chell, right? Unfortunately, you were eliminated by Chell in round 1 of the PK of 64-16. Keep trying. We look forward to your performance in the next season. Let me just tell you, folks, I had 59 votes, and she had in that round, that was the first round going in from the 64. She had over 500 votes just in that round, and she was definitely paying for her own vote. She was buying the votes because there isn't that many people that vote in these competitions. I'm telling you, it's all bots, folks. And most of you who are listening to me telling you this, you already know this. If you're searching for answers about Starmaker, you've been on the app for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, let me show you some more stuff here. Okay, so this one is called, this guy's Thor Dulé, and you can tell he's from the Philippines because that's the Filipino flag. And then let me zoom in on him so you can see that he is in fact, Asian. And by the way, I'm not attacking anyone's ethnicity or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with cheating. How the hell does this guy have 122,437 votes? I mean, if you have the money, if say I had $50,000 in the bank, and I said, for shits and giggles, I'm going to see if I can win the let's say I was cheating, right? I could easily buy $5,000 worth of votes or whatever and try to get as high as I could to win. And then if I win the competition, they're going to pay me back $12,000. So I'm going to make 7,000. 7 and 5 is 12, right? You understand what I'm saying here, folks? And that girl, Sassy, definitely bought and paid for her own votes. And I know that this goes on. This is what's going on behind the scenes, folks. Let's show you the next one. Okay, this is Thor Dulé here. And by the way, I'm not attacking these like him per se, but if obviously if he's cheating, I am. And by the way, cheating does not guarantee you a win, by the way. Because if you don't spend more money than someone else, right? Someone else may be spending more money than you to try to win, right? And if you risk losing, by the way, doesn't mean you're going to win. But some people do it just to have the prestige of the title. They're looking for the title of the winner of Starmaker. It's insane. Imagine if this stuff went on in American Idol or America's Got Talent or one of those shows, right? And who knows, maybe stuff like that is going on because they can decide who wins. But on those shows, those people have to be really good singers most of the time in order to win those competitions. And some of these people are not that great of singers. All right, let me show you some more here. Hold on. And I'm only showing you this because I'm trying to explain to you, like, how does a guy have 122,000 votes when he only has this many in some of his songs? I mean, he has 1,400 votes, views here, but all of these other ones, he has less than 300 views on these songs. You understand what I mean? Like, it just doesn't add up. It does not add up. Okay, here's another one who's in the competition, Ziggy, right? And look at this. This is an AI face here. And I'm not saying, this is a real singer, but she's got an AI face. She didn't even put a real face in there, right? She's got 30,557 votes. Sorry, but 30,000 people don't even come in to view anyone's songs. This is what I'm trying to prove to you guys. Like, if there was that many actual legitimate votes, 30,557, don't you think that at least even 1% of them would go over to the other videos and watch some of her videos or whatever to see how good she is? And by clicking on a video or the song, it gives you a view. In other words, she doesn't even have any views on in her songs. Okay, I could sit here and try to take the time to keep going through all of these, but you have the names. If you want to go in and check out these individual people, you can do it, okay? So let's get back to, this is Chelsea Zoe here. Chelsea Zoe, okay? 148,642 votes. And this isn't even the final round yet. It's going to be interesting to see how many votes they actually gave each other for the final tally. I don't know exactly how much these people are spending individually, but it's got to be in the thousands, or at least $1,000, $2,000 to be doing this, because it costs a lot of money. So to get 2,500 coins, it's $50 to get 2,500 coins. Now, to buy those musical notes or whatever you have to do to send. So when anyone ever sends a gift to a song, that counts as a vote. You don't have to vote individually by listening to the song. You can send gifts. So people say, well, how, it's got to be legitimate because you have to click on the song to listen, and then you got to listen to two singers, and then you have to vote. No, you don't. You only have to send gifts to the person's song and the singer who's singing the song. So these people are they're having their friends and family and everyone else probably sending them a whole bunch of votes. But it's easier for someone to just do it themselves. So they buy, say, $1,000 worth of coins and musical notes, and they just sit there and keep clicking until they get it up as high as 148,642. Legitimately, this person probably had less than 1,000 votes, maybe 500. All the rest is all fake. It's all fake, folks. I know this has already been sort of a long video, so I want to close here by saying, overall, the Starmaker app is a decent singing app to practice your skills, or even just have fun if you want. And you don't have to be the greatest singer to do it. It is about having fun. But it would be nice if you had a good voice singing so people could enjoy it. Because who wants to listen to a terrible singer, right? That's number one. Number two, the library is vast. The songs they have are amazing to do. Pretty much exact copies of the actual ones. However, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of overdubbing and mixing goes on in studios with real singers. So when you hear a singer on a real song, you pick your favorite artist and you can hear them in the background. You're not going to be able to do that because you can only dual layer, which means you can do a group version where you sing and then you backtrack and do one more, but you can only do 2 tracks for certain songs. If it's a straight singing song where there's no backing vocals, it's even better because you can sing it straight. So there is limitations within the app. It's not like you have a professional studio in your house, but what's there is good enough to work with. The music quality is great. There's a lot of positives. In closing, I'd say stay away from the gambling apps because you're not going to win anything, folks. They don't pay you any actual money for playing those games. It's just, it sucks you in, and then you end up buying more coins, and it's crazy. Stay away from that. Number 3, stay away from Supernova. Don't enter the competition because you're not going to win. If I could have it my way, I would call this criminal. It's criminal what's going on because this company Starmaker is allowing these people to win the competition because they don't care as long as the money's rolling in for them and people keep buying the coins. That's all they care about. They don't care about actual. If this was a real competition, folks, they would have judges that would judge it just like American Idol or America's Got Talent or pick any of the competitions. It's not a legitimate contest. It's a fraud. So just know that. So, all right. So I told you the good and the bad. What you do with it that's up to you. But at least and I broke it down as best I could. I just wanted to show you how that actually works. And I know enough by being on this app and talking to all the people that I've talked to in the course of conversations within chats and everything else to know that the people are buying votes. And you might say, well, how do you know these people are buying the votes? Well, you can go in, and I wish I had done that. It's too late now, but to go in and you look at the songs that are being voted on, and you can see where the person had given themselves the votes. So Sassy, she was caught last year. She bought all the votes in order to win. Oh, whoop-de-doo, she's got the title of Starmaker. What's that going to do for her? Nothing. But she is laughing at everybody because she won the 12,000. In actuality, she probably won 4,000 or 5,000 after she bought all the votes. She probably spent 5,000 or 6,000 to win the 12. But that's a good deal, right? I mean, I'm not an idiot. I don't do that. I wouldn't want to win that competition that way. No way. Anyways, thanks for listening. Maybe in the future I'll make some more videos on Starmaker or whatever. But thank you for coming by, stopping by, and listening. At least you know the truth, folks. Take care, folks. Have a good one.